So, 4 new classic cards were added to Hearthstone today. They're already in the game. This new patch added Icicle, Tome of Intellect, Call of the Void, and Pilfer. And the reason they added these 4 new cards is because they wanted to replace the 4 other cards that had rotated into the Hall of Fame. Ice Block, Ice Lance, Power Overwhelming, Conceal. You'll see that these other new cards are similarly priced, and they coincide with the same classes. The main reason they did this is they want to make sure that all of the classes and all of the classic sets have the same amount of cards. And in terms of the design, they said that they wanted them to be pretty straightforward and simple so that new players can easily understand them. At the same time, they didn't want them to be too powerful because they don't want to have to move them into the Hall of Fame. Tome of Intellect just adds a random mage spell to your hand. It's pretty weak, but I could see as a new player, this would be a good card to see some spells you don't have, and maybe if you have a quest mage deck, this could be another option. Icicle is 2 mana, deal 2 damage to a minion, and if it's frozen, draw a card. They already have a minion that draws a card if an enemy is frozen. The problem is, Mage just doesn't use enough freeze for this card to be consistent, and so it's also probably not going to see play. Call of the Void for Warlock is a 1 mana spell, add a random demon to your hand. You can compare this to Dark Possession, which requires you to deal 2 damage to a friendly character, but with that one you also discover a demon, meaning you get to choose between 3, and that's a lot better than just getting a random one because there are a lot of good demons and there's also a lot of bad ones. And probably a bigger joke than all the other 3 is Pilfer, which adds a random card to your hand from your opponent's class. And this is straight up just a weaker version of Hallucination. So it's pretty interesting that they're adding these 4 classic cards basically out of nowhere. It's nice that they're balancing the number of cards out in each of the classes, but all 4 of these are really weak, and I'm guessing they're not going to have any effect on the current meta. It got me thinking though, what if they did rotate classic cards in and out? Blizzard always emphasizes that if they can, they'll nerf classic cards instead of expansion cards. And they say that this helps because they're basically trying to future-proof the game so that they won't have to nerf anymore. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I think a good option to help spice up the game and try to make balancing choices would be to maybe halfway through expansions, rotate some classic cards into the Hall of Fame and introduce a couple of new ones. I think if midway through an expansion they rotated out some Druid Ramp, that could really change up the meta. I don't think they're going to do something like that. I think they're basically just adding these 4 cards to even out all the classes. In other news, the patch also has a special event. From November 7th to the 11th, there's going to be a quest you can get that will allow you to play with a friend and make 100 gold. You'll be able to do this quest up to 5 times, meaning you'll be able to get 500 gold, but it's not like Challenge a Friend quest where basically both of you get 80 gold, you just get the 500 gold and that's that. In addition, you'll also get 6 Boomsday card packs for logging in between those dates. So that's good news. I'm always a fan of free stuff. Let me know what you guys think about the 4 added cards and my idea of rotating cards in and out of the classic set mid-expansions.